Okay, we have here one of our really good students, Richard. Richard, again, I really do appreciate you for taking the time, Mr. Thompson, kind of helping me with this review. As we get started, why don't you share a little bit about who you are, what you've been doing, how did we meet, and all that good stuff.
Oh man, what a long story. Anyway, I'm Richard Thompson. I'm a mechanical designer by trade. I've been doing that kind of work for like over 30 years, and I met to Brian. About 6 months ago, something like that,
Okay.
via the internet because what's the other guy name that was out there, Osborne?
Oz, yes.
Yeah, Oz was out there, was kind of making it look like a pipe dream, of course. And I said, well, you know what? Brian sounded way better than his style. We make it way more sense. And I said, let me go ahead and take a leap of faith.
Mhm.
And this is where I am. And, this is actually something that I had started doing earlier. And I told you that I was into actually doing owner finance mortgage note,
Mhm.
where you would go in and purchase the note from the seller, and the note would actually be split in a way. And that was basically my experience. And I said, well, maybe I could blend my experience in with Brian and, make something work. So here I am.
Gotcha. Give me one sec. Okay, so we're back. So you said you saw Oz, and you like after you watched it. I mean, what gravitated you to me? What was the difference between what you saw with me and versus what you saw with Oz?
I think that you went way more into the detail and the reality of how things work.
Okay.
Whereas I kind of caught Oz kind of giving you a lot of circle type information
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of basically draw you in.
Gotcha.
Your presentation was way more realistic than this.
Okay. All right. So
Brian, that's fine.
Gotcha. So you saw my presentation and you saw his presentation, and you were like, okay, I like working with this guy. What is it after you got into the program? Because my biggest issue, if you saw with Oz, is the promise does not meet what he actually delivers, because I purchased his course. So judging my course based on what I presented, how much value did you gain from my course, and did you actually learn something?
Yeah, I mean, that was really impact for me, especially when I went through the module.
Okay.
I never saw his training, but at this point, I don't want to see his training because your training is, like I said, it's way more realistic. And I think that's the difference. That's a major difference between you guys is,
He's
the preparation. Your preparation is realistic training.
Gotcha. And you mentioned before that you did something a little bit similar. So you basically were exposed to, dealing with lenders, your background as well. You're an engineer, so you're pretty got your head on your shoulders. One of the things that was pretty challenging when I was coming up with this course is how can I wrap up like 15 years of knowledge into me teaching somebody about these products in a very short period of time? What is your opinion on the 3 paths of lending theory and how I decided to kind of shorten that learning curve to get you to understand pretty much everything as far as all the products is concerned?
I think the three factors of lending, you separated them to a point where once you review one, it sticks with you, and the transition from one type to the other type was a smooth transition.
Okay.
And you're able to refer back to what you have learned, and then you go to the third part. You're able to blend it up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a spear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Or what to actually do.
My goal when I started Broker Solutions Academy is to really offer clarity as it pertains to the products and the right systems in place for you to be a successful business loan broker. And the reason why is I noticed that a lot of business loan brokers were just basically salesmen. Okay. And it's a very scary thing to be. It's like, think about your doctor. You there's a certain expected requirements that we all have as to what you better have gone to school, because you're talking about my life here. Whatever advice you give me, there's a certain when you go into the plane, The pilot better have his hours. Okay, there is, you need to know. I don't want to see. Oops, I don't want. I just got my permit yesterday. No. Okay, you got my life on the line.
That's right. You better not be drinking on the job.
You better not be drinking on the job. So, business loan brokers advise business owners on one of the most important investments of their life, right next to their houses. Because right next to your house is your business. And your business, there's a video that Elon Musk did, and he talks about how his business was his baby. How after he sold PayPal and he started, all these other businesses, and he was running out of money. He was sleeping in his friend's couch, and he was crying at one point because, he looked at his business like a baby. And in this interview, he made this thing where, how can, my baby needed money, and how can you look at your baby and not feed them? And he was just, the reason I bring that up is I want intentional business loan brokers that are consultants to their client, that understand all the different products that are available, and that can be able to consult with their clients so they can empower their clients to make the right decisions. I don't need business loan brokers that can be just salespeople that shove a specific product down somebody's throat, if you understand what I'm saying. So with that said, do you think that we achieved that goal as far as offering the clarity as it pertains to all the different products that are available out there?
Yeah, I would say definitely. And sticking from the air, going through some of the actual clients that I've met, and it hasn't been that many, but the two that I have brought to the table definitely have learned. I've learned two solid foundations as to whenever I come across the next opportunity like that, I know how I can make that presentation to make your job easy when it comes time for you to review it.
Gotcha. And I think recently I just reviewed one of your files. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yesterday.
That leads me to this next question. As I said earlier, I always say passion plus execution equals results. And what I offered in the industry was clarity plus the right systems in order for you to be successful. In this business, it's all about building your pipeline. And when I initially launched, I was just focused on the educational piece. And I was like, holy crap, I'm missing a whole big part of this, which is having effective systems for them. And I'm planning to build a broker network, a team of brokers. That leads me to this question. You've came through the transition where we moved from Infusionsoft to Go High Level. What do you think about our system now? And given the fact that I'm trying to build a system where you can feel supported remotely, you can feel assured that, hey, I got my back office is doing their thing. It's like running a restaurant. You're trying to sell this food, but you don't really believe in your chef. And if you don't really trust and have faith in your chef, you're not going to be that confident going out there and really pushing this restaurant. So what are your thoughts on the back office? We're just getting started. You've seen how we evaluated your file, got back with you in a timely manner, presented you with pretty much everything that you need. So what are your thoughts on, you've shared your thoughts on the knowledge. What are your thoughts on the systems that we've built for you to be successful?
I really like, the more I get into it, the more I like to Go High Level. I mean, it is, everything is right there. You can't miss anything because, your dashboard, it points you in the right direction every time.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps up with you. There is automation, it's great. Everybody needs automation. And I'm still learning the technical.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I have learned, it's very functional. And it's a great tool. I like it.
Great. Now, a lot of people, when you hear about Go High Level, it's an amazing tool that does 1,000,001 things.
Yeah.
Okay. One of my biggest fears when dealing with people, we are getting older, and old dog don't like to learn new tricks. Okay. But it's harder. It's definitely harder. I remember when I had to move from Infusionsoft to Go High Level, and when you move in CRMs, it's like a horrible divorce because you didn't get. I've been with Go High Level since I started my business since 2011. We're sitting here in 2025, and I got to that conclusion as I was growing Broker Solutions Academy. I was like, okay, I gotta change. Like there's no way that this is gonna work. But it was hard. It's like trying to separate, like a divorce, like I said. So it's a huge transition. Now, when I got into Go High Level, one of my things as well as I'm building this is I wanted to make this very effective CRM, but I didn't want to be so techy. I didn't want to scare people away from embracing it and learning the system. So what I did was I just laid out the stages. You've seen the stages. And it's just like, I just want you to get your client right here. Everything else is going to be done for you. We'll do the automation as far as scheduling the calls. We'll pretty much do everything. If you can share your thoughts and opinions on how simple and easy Go High Level is to use, or just share your opinion on that. Was it difficult? Was it challenging to kind of learn the system? What are your thoughts on it?
I'll say this.
And I'm with you 100% when it comes to get boys thing you talk about, because I've actually experienced the same thing with the engineering software that I've been using for years and years. I mean, even when they come out with a new version of the same thing, they make changes. And once you find your comfort level, it seems that they want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you feel like you got it productive.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have
Absolutely.
what I have known in Go High Level is that it enhances your production because there's so many different tools there. And I think it's, for me, it's kind of geared to get me for a rate.
Mm-hmm.
You get to client, get them in, you get a process on one page to the next, and it's twice and rate. You can repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like a movie. I am kind of like a movie. So, in my way of learning, depends on, well, I got to get in and, make wrong turns, what are the few likes. Eventually, I learn how to drive, like the profession. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Really great, and I'm with you 100%. I remember when I'm still getting the hang of it right now and developing my flow, with Go High Level, because it definitely does take some time. Now, coming from engineering background, and I don't know if you want to share kind of your transition and your commitment now with this, because there's a lot of people who are, dealing with what AI is doing in so many different industries and whatever it is. What is your, because what kind of engineering were you doing?
Okay.
Mechanical engineering. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're completely changing gears now to something else. Okay. I don't know if you want to share why and why did you choose this specifically versus a million other things you could be doing. You could be retiring right now, Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, that's true. But I like numbers, and we definitely deal with numbers with this. And to me, numbers definitely is safe.
Mm-hmm.
And with engineering, numbers can be the difference between a good product and a bad product. So in my mind, if I find a client that has a product and they need, numbers to know that product get into the point of reality, then it kind of relates back in here, because then we have done it precisely right. It has to be precise and it has to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
So I think bringing that exactness over the finance, which is also basically, I would say it's just as exact as engineering. It's basically a form of engineering.
Mm-hmm.
You're engineering a person's status, situation, capital, collateral, income, profit and loss, and all these other things. That's a form of engineering, because these things have to come together and they have to work.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these can be compared to moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
These parts have to have, tolerances between, so that they can clear each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, they think of a credit score. A credit score is like a piece of material that is basically assembled within the entire picture. And once they get accustomed to seeing these things, or a client to see these things, they find and realize how it works, and then they have an easier path to getting you the information that you need. They go back on they do their homework, and they actually see how they're going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I'm not there to, in a roundabout way. But
I love how your brain thinks, and I remember it brings me back to whenever I was thinking about teaching these concepts and these theories and the three paths to lending and everything that I've learned. And one thing that I've always told myself is I didn't want my clients to rely on me. I want them to, does what I'm teaching make sense? You know, and when you bring the engineering concept to it is because you can't argue with gravity. It is what it is. You know, just like you can't argue with the three paths to lending. I didn't come up with it. I understood the market. I've been doing this for years, and I say it all the time. And I tell people, argue with me, you know, challenge me. There's 3 ways on how you can get a business funded: credit, income, assets. And we talk about all the different concepts with every single one of these products. And again, what I'm doing is I'm enlightening people, but I'm not really, these are not Brian's theories. These is not Brian's concepts, you know, like engineering. These are not, you know, you came out there and these are just, I guess, the laws of physics that you're, you know, in a sense, these are the laws of the marketplace. And they've been made to be so, like the way that this financial system has been created, it's been designed to not make sense to the average person, you know. And I try to make it make sense to anybody, you know, with the concepts and everything that I've taught. So that's really dope. Let's talk about the support that is given after the fact, because what we're doing here, we're teaching people how to really start their own business. Okay. And a lot of people, especially when they sell courses, you know, I hate people that just, you know, hey, watch these videos and you're on your own. You know, I don't care what it is. You can teach me how to ride a bike, but you know, after I watch these videos, you still got to come with me out here and show me how to really do it, because I'm not going to get it with just watching videos. So leads me to this question. Talk to me about the support that you've seen given in Penta Consulting Group after you've watched the videos, after you've taken the training. Do you feel like you're confident enough and you have somebody on your corner to help you grow your business?
Yeah, I do. I do feel like the support that you play.
I kind of come from a background where the management was more like, okay, just figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And even after Ovidian, they figure they figure it out. You don't have to worry about going back to school. You know, don't worry about having somebody training you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a very toxic environment.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you know, how are you supposed to get people from college if you don't have any kind of introduction or any kind of training or any kind of foundation? And what you presented is just that. But both found both to be able to move from the nest and spread the wings and actually get out here and fly.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the support has been great.
Because never have I ever seen, written, or heard in any video that people need just figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, that's what my goal, that was my commitment to you. You know, and I'm glad that we set the right expectations, also met the expectations. You know, and definitely looking forward to helping you grow your business, especially with the transition from an engineer to what you're doing now. Looking forward to helping you grow this thing, and hopefully we can take it somewhere. So any final thoughts? Anybody considering Broker Solutions Academy, considering getting started with me? Anything that you want to share with them?
Well, I will say this take the first step. Take the first step. Lock in on those 3 principles of lending, and just watch it to come around. But the main thing is that you got to stick to it. You got to focus, and you got to put a little time in. You know, like go high level. This is a quick time to, you know, get into the system and just drive around and see what's there. It's basically like discovering a new city.
Gotcha.
Get in, put a little time in it, focus, and you know, draw in your mind on how your clients can actually profit from your help. Because that's really what there at least is. You lose your client, then your knowledge, and how you bring everything together and lead to a goal.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for sharing, man. One of the things is, my job as a coach is, of course, to educate you, but most importantly, to instill confidence in you, because I want that confidence to ooze out when you're speaking with clients. We are not selling, we're not selling hot dogs, or we're not selling clothes. We're selling financial products, which is very sensitive. You know, probably way more sensitive than even, people's body as far as what the doctor does. Because when people were going to the doctor, they don't really care. Hey, you're a doctor? Okay, cool. But sometimes just even sharing your credit report or sending your credit report to somebody, it's sensitive. They're, oh no, I don't want you to see, So without instilling confidence in your client, you're not going to ever be able to do this. And, with you, without me instilling enough confidence in you as my student, I'm setting you up for failure from the beginning. So I'm glad and continuously love to hear people that, this is working. I appreciate your time, like always. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Another successful review from one of my students, Mr. Richard, an engineer. Currently his company is facing some, been affected by AI, and he's looking for something different, something to do. The gentleman can absolutely retire, but he just wants to do something different. So if that's you, if you're faced with, changes, trying to navigate, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You've been working at a job 30 years, you got laid off, you got whatever the situation is. If you just want to do something different, it's going to be a link in the description how we can connect together. Thank you so much. And again, Richard, I appreciate you. Definitely looking forward to helping you grow your business.